Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. The title will have definitely brought you here, so if you are new, my name is Nodreen K and I talk all things fashion, lifestyle and digital marketing. And in today's video I'm going to be talking specifically about why I have chosen to have a no alcohol year. If you are a returning subscriber, then thank you guys so much for coming back, and I encourage you to hit the bell so you are notified whenever I upload a new video. I will link on the end card my last video, which was my New Year goal setting, and in that video I mentioned doing a separate sit down chatty video about this topic. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So why I'm no longer drinking. Kind of clickbaited a little bit in the title, but essentially I'm having an alcohol-free year. So last year I decided to have a dry October and November. So I think in the UK we call it Stoptober. So you basically stop drinking alcohol for the month of October. And I actually found that I wasn't reaching for alcohol, or I didn't need it, so I just said let me carry that on into November. And then I stopped in December because the festive period, like Christmas, there's like always like loads of like social events and things that, yeah, I'm a social drinker basically, so December would have been a trickier month for me to stay completely teetotal. Then at the turn of the new year I thought, why not stretch this? And a number of kind of thought processes brought me to this decision, but basically today what I want to talk to you guys about is the reasoning behind my decision to take a break from drinking, and also talk a little bit about the negative effects of alcohol in general, and hopefully this can serve for inspiration for those of you who are looking to have an alcohol-free year, who are already doing a dry January, and yeah, anyone who's kind of looking for a lifestyle change and wants to come along on the journey. This one's for you. I fell down basically like a YouTube rabbit hole and found loads of videos about people who were either sober curious or like completely sober, and ultimately discovered like the whole sobriety movement on YouTube. Obviously I came across all of the usual stuff that you tend to see in terms of like long-term effects of drinking alcohol. When I say long-term, I mean like drinking alcohol for like over a period of years. And I started drinking at the age of 18 and, you know, have been a social drinker, I would say, most of my life. And as we know, like alcohol, as far as the body is concerned, has a real negative impact on specific organs. So it impacts the liver. There is also the mental effects that alcohol can have on your brain. So, you know, the slowing of your thought processes, you know, the distorting of events, and, you know, forgetfulness and the fogginess, and all of the usual stuff. And then when you kind of think about alcohol as a substance, it is classed as a drug. Obviously it's not like a class A, but it is, what we're putting into our body is a drug of sorts because it alters our state. And I was like, okay, I do see the place for alcohol in a social setting. You know, it is used in many cultures as something that sort of brings people together, as something to like gather and do, like, you know, you go for drinks with your friends, or you have a glass of wine with dinner, or, you know, you go for cocktails or things like that. And I was like, okay, I do see the place for alcohol in my life, but at the same time there were always alternatives. So outside of the social benefits, which, to be honest, if you are a social person and if you don't need alcohol to, you know, get yourself out of your shell, then there isn't a huge need for it in that context. But when I thought about like the contents of alcohol, is this something that I want to continue putting into my body if I am on a healthier lifestyle kick? And so obviously the answer was no. But I did consider sort of only limiting myself to drinking on special occasions, but to be honest, in my current lifestyle I really only drink on special occasions. So if I'm out like at a bar or a club, which doesn't happen that often these days, or if I'm going to see a friend and we're having a glass of wine together, you know, that's kind of when I would drink. I don't buy wine or I don't buy alcohol at home, so it's just not something that forms part of my everyday. And so I was like, I could go all the way with this, I really could. And then I just said, you know, what is the point of kind of half-assing it? And I was like, let me see if I could go a whole year without drinking. If you are coming to this video and you are sober curious, or you want to know more about the sobriety movement, I will link some of the videos that I watched down below. But I also wanted to just do a little read through of some of the effects of alcohol and also some of the ingredients of alcohol, just in case you were ever curious and you kind of want like a summed up version of the research. So I went onto the NHS website. The NHS, for those of you who are not in the UK, is the National Health Service, and that is like our countrywide healthcare system. I was looking at basically like the longer term effects of alcohol misuse. So when they say alcohol misuse, they're talking about like drinking large amounts of alcohol for many years. So one of the main ones that like really struck me was organ damage, and it wasn't just the sort of usual organs that you hear about, like the liver. So like organs that can be damaged by alcohol misuse are the nervous system, the heart, the liver, the pancreas. Heavy drinking can also increase your blood pressure and your blood cholesterol levels, both of which are like major factors to, you know, having strokes or heart attacks. Also, long-term alcohol misuse can weaken your immune system and make you more vulnerable to serious infections, weakening your bones and also placing you at greater risk of fracturing them or breaking them. So I was like, whoa. So then there are also many long-term health risks associated with alcohol misuse. Now this is all misuse, so obviously if you drink in moderation and you know your limits, then fair enough. But while chronic drinking is often the cause of serious long-term liver damage, a one-time weekend bender is not without consequence. Perfectly healthy people who hardly drink at all following a weekend of drinking will have fatty deposits on their liver show up in CAT scans or ultrasounds. So that's the liver showing the effects of like metabolizing all of the alcohol. What I've noticed being a drinker is if you start drinking, I think your behavior is altered and your decision making ability is also altered. And so knowing your limit becomes harder the closer you get to it, if you know what I mean. So anyway, but more on the long-term health risks. So high blood pressure, strokes, pancreatitis, liver disease, liver cancer, mouth cancer, head and neck cancer, breast cancer, bowel cancer, depression, dementia, sexual problems such as impotence, premature ejaculation, infertility, damage to the brain, which can lead to problems with thinking and memory. And so I was like, okay, that's that's intense. And I guess that kind of made me think, well, damn, if alcohol has that impact on our organs, which we all know, but, you know, we drink it anyway. I was like, okay, so what is in alcohol that can cause these issues? Basically, the main ingredient in alcohol, or the active ingredient in alcohol, is ethanol. So basically, there are just varying levels of ethanol in different drinks, from like wine, spirits, beers, etc. Ethanol and water are the main components of most alcoholic beverages, although in some very sweet liquors, the sugar content can be higher than the ethanol content. So if you think about cocktails, they probably got more of the sugar than the ethanol. So ethanol, little science lesson for those of you that don't know, is a colourless, volatile, flammable liquid which is produced by the natural fermentation of sugars. Ethanol is present in alcoholic drinks when it's diluted, so it's diluted with water. However, it can be used as a topical agent to prevent skin infections in pharmaceutical preparations, e.g. like rubbing compounds, lotions, tonics, colognes, cosmetics, and in perfumes. So alcohol is a drug. It's classified as a central nervous system depressant, which means that drinking alcohol slows down brain functioning, neural activity, and further reduces the functioning of various vital functions in the body. This is due to the increased production of the inhibitory neurotransmitter gamma aminobutyric acid, or GABA. When someone consumes large quantities of alcohol, specifically more than the body is equipped to process, the result is depressant effects. Some of the depressant effects from alcohol include delayed reaction time, we've all been there, cognitive impairments, slurred speech, poor coordination or lack of motor skills, distorted perceptions, lessened inhibitions, distorted judgment, and sedation. Although alcohol is clinically classified as a depressant, it is also proven to have stimulant effects depending on the amount and the rate at which alcohol is consumed. So obviously some quantities of alcohol, some types of alcohol can like slow you down, whereas others can like get you really hyper. So yeah, the stimulatory effects are often the effects many people seek when they drink alcohol, so to make you more sociable. Some of those include talkativeness, overconfidence, improvements in mood, increased blood pressure, increased heart rate, and euphoria. So this study here says that alcohol is the most commonly used addictive substance in the United States, and it is both physically and psychologically addictive. And I think that's where I wanted to really zero in on. Alcohol addiction is something that is pretty prevalent and pretty common in communities and cultures where I'm from, and I feel like there is often a general social understanding that alcohol is something that we do to de-stress us or bring us together or to bond, which I understand, but at the same time in the long term it actually does the complete opposite. It increases stress on our vital organs. It doesn't bring us together, particularly in cases of misuse or alcoholism and over drinking. And in terms of bonding families, it's been known to actually break up families, etc. What's crazy to me is that people don't consider alcohol to be as dangerous as they do other drugs, other Class A drugs. And because we're consuming it on such a regular basis, I feel like, I don't know, maybe there's some science behind it, but I feel like it could be just as harmful because of the quantities and the regularity in which this society consumes alcohol. I don't want to bore you guys with the data, with the science and everything. Please do your own research. And this is by no means me saying I will never have another drop of alcohol in my life. But what I wanted to do is just make a change and really challenge myself to see, can I go a whole year without feeling like I need to drink, because I rarely feel like I want to drink, if you know what I mean. And also, can I give my body a break from all of that? And Lord knows it needs it. If you are trying to take a break with me, then I hope this video has proved to be informative, and if not, then just maybe some food for thought. I will link a bunch of resources and websites down below for you guys. If you feel that you have a problem with drinking and you think it's beyond just a social habit, then by all means do speak to a professional. There are so many places that you can seek help, both online and I suppose with your local health authorities. So please do get the help that you need. And I hope that this video serves as inspiration for anybody who, like me, is wanting to make a lifestyle change for the better. Thank you guys so much for watching, listening to me ramble on. I will be kicking off a new series on my channel next week, and that will be my How to Start an Online Business series. So stay tuned for that. Be sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! 'Cause when it pop off, it's like, oh my, all good all day, but the night we be going so hard on the flip side. So tell me what we on a day, babe. I could keep that same energy. When you go low, I go low too. But you'd rather stay high, I know.